Hi everyone. I'm Alexis Velasco, a senior here at UCSB, finishing up my last quarter in the Environmental Studies department. My focus in this project has been on the logistics and administrative management required to build the sustainable program known as the Culinary Resistance Workshop.
Hi, I'm Stella Cosgrove. I'm a senior here at UCSB and joined the Environmental Leadership Incubator to transform a personal connection with food into a tangible resource. My focus has been on community outreach and curriculum development.
So, together on this project, we were motivated by the reality that nearly half of our student population struggles with access to nutritional food despite being surrounded by an abundance of agriculture. What we did is set out to bridge that gap to fill food sustainability and student basic needs through education. So, this journey tracks our initial steps in academic vision to promote an actual community program.
So, one thing that brought me and Alexis together is that we both really love food in every way, from the soil to the belly. So, through our academic and professional experiences, we look to share our knowledge about how connected our food and environment really are. We believe that food is a pillar of society and that fair food systems improve both human and environmental health simultaneously. We sought to teach our community food literacy and better aid themselves both and the earth.
So the problem we aim to address is known as the UCSB food paradox. While Santa Barbara region is renowned for its agricultural production, nearly 99% of all the produce that we grow here is exported out. The region is home to a premier sustainability research, yet institutional data shows that only 11.4% of university food purchases meet sustainability criteria. Most of our students consume food daily without an understanding of its origins or its ecological impact and the health our land reflects nearly in our students. 48% of our undergraduate peers face food insecurity without the proper resources to combat this hunger. We recognize that providing direct food aid is a necessary weapon to these symptoms, but it does not address the underlying lack of culinary literacy. This deficit locks students into a high cost, high waste consumption pattern that's unsustainable for their budgets and the environment. Our project used that hands-on cooking and food sovereignty awareness as primary mechanisms for working on long-term behavioral change.
Our project evolved through several phases, beginning as a workshop concept before transitioning into a more structured curriculum. We saw the lack of education at the university within food systems, and we wanted to help share our knowledge. We reached out and researched and built off of previous student initiatives through Eli, and we were really weary to ensure that we were not duplicating existing solutions. We originally intended to fulfill a higher ambition by reinstating a full academic course for credit. However, through meetings with mentors like Professor Elizabeth Carlisle, Mallory Russell, and Katie Maynard, we learned how difficult the administrative path would be for us to navigate. To create a lasting impact, we pivoted to a program that was a 6 weeks course focused on community resistance and the development of essential culinary skills.
So, our mountaintop goal was to establish a new culture of mindful consumption on campus. This led us to shift students from being passive consumers to resilient and confidently food secure individuals. We focus on teaching culinary literacy because gaining these skills simultaneously reduces environmental emissions. We also acknowledge that our community held loads of knowledge and looked to partner with a multitude of organizations holding our same sustainability morals. We reached out to diverse networks, but ultimately ended up working with the Satakoy Food Hub, who kindly donated all of our produce. We worked with the AS Food Bank and other campus orgs to spread easy awareness of available resources. So when students lack the confidence to cook, they often default to prepackaged foods that generate significant waste. So by teaching our cohort of students how to prepare affordable meals from local ingredients, we prove that sustainable eating is accessible.
So once we had all of our ingredients, we had to figure out exactly what we wanted to make. We officially partnered with Nancy Martz and Priya Richards from Apple to Zucchini's Cooking School, who are up on the screen. And they so kindly allowed us to borrow all of the kitchen infrastructure we needed. A to Z also provided professional recipes and a mobile kitchen cart equipped with induction burners, utensils, and plates for our cohort. We're incredibly thankful to Nancy's mentorship and Priya's technical support, which allowed us to focus on building our kitchen community. We committed our kitchen at the St. George YMCA in Isla Vista, so kindly shared by Raul and team, to meet students where they actually lived. This allowed us to bypass campus facility barriers and build more accessible community access space. We worked closely with Mallory Russell to help shape our application to our course, accepting in our cohort. We met every Tuesday for 6 weeks, cooked, cleaned, and ate dinner together. Each week, a new community justice organization would come and be a guest speaker, and we would shape our class around that theme. In the first weeks, we focused on kitchen safety and knife techniques before taking the students to Sweeney Orchard for an outdoor organic tour with Edible Campus. This allowed them to identify edible plants that are in their own neighborhood and connect with the landscape. Later sessions included more resource talks from CalFresh advocates and demonstrations on how to maximize staples from the AS Food Bank. We showed students how to transform ingredients like sweet potatoes and canned beans into high quality meals like sweet potato chili and cornbread. Seeing the students transform from being hesitant in the kitchen with kitchen tools to confidently preparing full recipes was exactly what we hoped and saw.
So all in all, we built a circular sourcing network to prove that sustainable eating is accessible. We secured local produce donations from the Sadaqua Food Hub, sustainable whitefish from Get Hooked, and we also used staples from the AS Food Bank to show students how to transform shelf-stable goods into high-quality meals. To ensure the workshop remained free for our CalFresh eligible cohort, we successfully secured an $800 Coastal Fund grant. This funding was used to cover all participant costs and allowed us to focus on building a kitchen community rather than managing fees. These partnerships demonstrated that leadership is a network of connections built on mutual respect and a shared mission. Our ability to coordinate across multiple organizations ensured the project's financial and logistical viability during the implementation phase. We served over 85 participant meals throughout the spring and culminated in a community celebration of 30 students from the Environmental Affairs Board. All in all, the cost for all of the students was $0, which is the exact goal that we wanted to share with our community.
Our focus was also always on longevity. We wanted to make sure that future student projects became more efficient. We applied to a multitude of on and off campus grants, but ultimately struggled to find traction. However, we were able to help A to Z establish a connection with College Corps at UCSB to create a pathway for a permanent paid intern position to lead food justice work. We authored a guidebook to serve as a roadmap for future coordinators, detailing our curriculum, recipes, and logistical workflows. We completed pre and post work surveys to collect data, and here you can see that participant students themselves felt that they gained skills and experience. One student even said, "It definitely helped me feel more confident about cooking and made cooking seem much more realistic and exciting."
So, overall, this project taught us that leadership is really about showing up for your teammate. Working as a duo gave us a reliable landing pad during the most stressful moments, allowing us to lean on each other's strengths to keep our momentum moving forward.
Environmental studies is a field full of daunting problems, but we've learned that you can't solve them if students are hungry. Addressing food security is a fundamental step towards student success, and it requires leadership that is resilient, collaborative, and grounded in the community's immediate needs.
So we are no longer just students who love food, because who doesn't? We are environmental leaders who built a lasting framework for community resilience.
So thank you to Erica Zalette, Nancy Martz, Priya Richard, and our other community partners for helping us make this project a reality.